Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go, yeah we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't ever going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On a roll, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, or this weird early day crypto cappuccino fake out premiere live stream. But what is going on, CandleMafia? Thank you all for tuning in. And Bitcoin is looking like it wants to go to zero. So I know a lot of you guys probably woke up this morning thinking, you know, your 2024 is going great. Bitcoin ripped on the Bitcoin ripped yesterday. 2024 is off to a good start. And then you woke up this morning, you checked your phone, and Bitcoin absolutely puked out those red candles. And I know a lot of people are probably freaking out. So I wanted to drop this earlier content just to give you guys a little bit of an update on what I'm looking at on Bitcoin. Should we be worried? Why did we get this move down? Was it bad news? Was it liquidations? What actually happened? And should we be concerned for a continued downside for Bitcoin, or are we just getting a very, very healthy correction before getting another leg up? Are we still looking at those higher targets closer to 48 to 50K, maybe even 47K? So I want to run over all those key levels, talk to you guys about why we took a move to the downside, and if you should be worried going into the new year because this dump, or if it's just a small hiccup before we blast back off to higher highs. So before we get into it, guys, don't forget to smash that like button. I see you guys going crazy in the chat, or I imagine you're going crazy in the chat. But thank you all for tuning in. Smash that like button. Every 100 likes we get, I will add those spins to the giveaway or the wheel spin tonight to give some stuff away on Friday. And if we get 550 likes, I will add 2 Frankie Candles hats, maybe those special limited edition colorways, to the giveaway. So smash up that like button. And without further ado, Bitcoin's dumping. So let's go ahead and jump right on into the charts. Let's get it. So guys, here we are on the Bitcoin chart, and as you guys can see, Bitcoin has clearly gotten a significant push to the downside. Now, is this all, is this the, oh my God, panic, we're going to zero dump? I don't think so, right? It could be potentially, and I'm going to cover everything with you guys right now. So obviously, if you guys watch the live streams, you will know that we've been looking at some very, very, very specific levels for a potential rejection, and coincidentally, one of those levels was right up where we got rejected from, which was in where we had an NPOC sitting at about $46,000. So let me go ahead and bring up those targets, which should look familiar to you. So here we are. Obviously, this is the naked point of control at 46K, and there were a few different reasons why not only we were expecting to get sucked up to this level, but there were a few reasons why we were looking for a rejection at this level as well, right? So As you guys know, we were looking for this yearly high to get cracked. Number one, first reason we were expecting that was because we knew we had a lot of liquidity above that previous yearly high, because anyone who was short from up here likely has their liquidation points and stop losses sitting right above, adding liquidity in this area of the chart, right? Now, why is this important? Because price action is attracted to liquidity. So this is number one, a big reason why we were expecting to break this range and come up to this naked point of control at $46,000. And then that $46,000 MPOC is simply another reason why we were expecting the move to the upside, because we know that these naked points of control also act as magnets for price. So with that being said, should we be panicking, right? Well, we got the rejection from where we expected to get the rejection from, and this was a short setup in the premium Discord. We were first off looking for that swing failure pattern, which again, we did not really get. So we sat on our hands, waited for the higher level, and then that 46K MPOC was the level that actually gave us that rejection. And I am going to go over a trade in a little while. I'll go over a trade that I've taken on a different account, not one of my regular accounts. This is a small account that I'm trying to flip. I'm doing like a small account flipping challenge. So I took the trade on there. So we'll go over that trade in a second. But, we got a perfect rejection from this 46K MPOC. We actually front ran it very slightly. But we got the rejection from basically exactly where we thought we were going to get it. Now, was this a healthy dump, or is this kind of alarming? Well, number one, I will say this, right? Just like we were expecting the move to the upside based off the liquidity, we also, let me pull up the heat map really quickly here. We also had a lot of liquidity sitting down here, guys. And you see these hot spots of liquidity, and they are just sitting ducks waiting for price to get sucked back down to them. And this is essentially just longs sitting in the market waiting to get wrecked. And more often than not, the price will come down and wreck all those liquidations. And you can see how beautifully this plays out, right? You come down, you wreck all those liquidations, and stop losses below the wherever that swing low was. But everyone is long. And you have the liquidations and stop losses all down here. And when price starts to tap into these areas, that's where you see the cascade of either cascade of liquidations to the downside or the upside, depending on what you're looking at. But this liquidity is what they say, what you'll hear a lot of people call fuel. Like, this fuels the market. And oftentimes, the reason that happens, right, the reason you get these big moves is because when you stop out long positions, it creates market sells, right, putting extra downward pressure. And this is oftentimes, I don't know what just happened, there we go. This is oftentimes what happens when you hit these liquidation zones. And so this was, a big liquidation event that happened down here, right? So what does this mean, right? Well, coming back to the chart, you can see not only did we wind up coming down back to our value area low, but we also liquidated. Let me pull up the actual Bybit chart because we didn't get the big liquidation wick like we did on Bybit. But here you go, right? There's that big liquidation wick. And if we go ahead and pull our volume profile, let me just go ahead and pull it real quick. You can see we are now basically sitting at our value area low, or just about on our way there, sitting, right at that value area low, which is support, right? So in my opinion, this is probably not the place to be FOMOing short, right? Oftentimes, we talked about this last night in the live stream, people love to short support, right? They come down to a level, starts to break, they try to FOMO, get into a breakout trade, and then they absolutely get demolished, right? This is literally, we basically counter trade those people. And, even here, right, you get a little deviation, and then boom, you just go back up towards the POC, and that's why the volume profile is so important, right, or so helpful, because we know that, hey, all I see here is bullish signals at a value area low. This is where I look for longs, right, not FOMOing short. And it's very similar to what we're seeing right now, right? We came down, we're sitting right at our key level of support, and we've already liquidated all these people down here. So, again, not, in my opinion, necessarily the best place to FOMO short, but we are now, as soon as we broke this value area high, guys, this is a little bit more bearish in the short term, right, for me. This does not mean that I don't have, I've not lost my bullish bias. I have not lost my bullish bias as far as coming up and tapping some of these higher key levels. Now, there is a point where that will get invalidated for me. But as of right now, guys, this does not look too alarming to me in my own personal opinions. We still have these key levels up here. Obviously, you have the Bybit POC at $47,236. And then obviously we also have, let me pull up the Bitstamp chart one more time to bring up the key levels. So we have our high volume node. This is basically where the Bybit POC is. But that Bybit POC is really, between between 47,150 and 47,250 is kind of that zone that I'm looking at. And then above that, you do have that 48 to 50K macro golden pocket, which is still a big target on my radar. So as of right now, not really too alarmed here, guys. Obviously, you know, I was looking for a position here, and I'll actually pull it up right now. So this position that I'm in right now is in on a very small account, right? This was a small account flipping challenge on Zeta Markets. This is a decentralized futures trading platform. And it's really, really cool. I'm having a lot of fun trying to grow the small account. It's actually going pretty well so far. I've just about doubled the account. This is their P&L is a little bit lagged behind, but just about doubled this account. However, this is you know, this was based off of the 46K MPOC. The reason I took this short was based off that 46K MPOC and waiting for a little bit of a dumpski, right? So I am going to be taking profits on this or probably right as soon as I get off this live stream or premiere. But this was, you know, it was expected, right? In my opinion, right? I'm not shocked by this, right? So it's not like, oh my God, we're going to zero. So let's talk about bullish and bearish cases, right? Now, like, at what point am I flipping much more bearish? Well, let's talk about it, right? So we're here on the Bitstamp chart, and let me pull up some very, very key levels, right? So we had this this point of control down here, which we wound up actually bouncing off of. But let me actually pull up some more levels here, and these are going to be very, very key levels to the downside, right? So number one, we have this naked monthly point of control down here at about 40,275. This is going to be I actually don't know if this is tapped. I don't want to spend the time to confirm that right now because I want to keep this stream going. But either way, this will likely act as some level of support. If it's naked, I would take it more into consideration. And then we also have this level down here at about $40,000, which is just your psychological level. And then just below, these are two major levels I'm looking at. And they are two naked daily points of control. One sitting at 39.6 and the other one sitting at 38.775. And it wouldn't really be until we start losing these levels that I would start to get a bit more bearish, right? And if we actually look at this kind of more macro profile here, yeah, because if you lose these MPOCs, it's probably going to be more likely that you come down to about 36K. And if we wind up, let's go ahead and hide these next targets. And remember, guys, when you're looking at the volume profiles, if you know, we have a lot of levels here. If we clean up the chart, hide all these levels, and just look at the macro profile, this will give you insight into the very, very key levels, right? Because if we look at the macro bull market profile, you guys can see here that we have our point of control of that range sitting at 34.4, right? So, you know, regardless of all the intermediate levels or the kind of just random levels we have in between here, just looking at the macro, right? Simply put, we're looking at this as a volume profile. Value area low, flip to support, up to the POC. POC flip to support, looking for a move up to the value area high. And it's really funny because, you know, once you kind of zoom out, you realize like how like not of a big deal this dump was, right? So it did happen very quickly, but and it's not that it's not that it's impossible for this to begin a much bigger move down. It totally could, and we're prepared for that. But you know, as of right now, with all those liquidations taken on the heat map, and just you know, you could see it, right? A lot of these liquidations were taken, right? It's not like we have another hot pocket of liquidations down here, right? We've kind of already scooped all these liquidations, and oftentimes you will see some kind of a reversal, right? Let me be clear. Even if this move is going to continue back down, the fact that we've taken all this liquidity down here makes it a little more likely, in my opinion, not impossible to just continue dumping, but makes it a little more likely that we could see a little bit more of a correction back to the upside, even if we are going to continue back down. So keep that in mind. But coming back here, looking at the macro levels, if things start to get really, really bearish, guys, like if we just started free falling, the next major area I'd look for major support would be the point of control at 34.4, right? Because, you know, if you come back down here and you're not getting strong bounces off of this, you're probably looking to lose it and then potentially start coming down to some way lower levels, which I would not want to see happen, right? So keep that in mind. I also do believe we did have I believe we did have a CME gap. Hang on, let me pull this up really quick. Screw it, we'll do it live, Mafia. We'll do it live. Okay, let's see. Where is CME? There we go. Yeah, so we do have a CME gap down here closer to about $40,435. So this could be a level to look at for a potential pullback too. So keep that in mind as well. But other than that, right, we have our intermediate levels, right, or our local levels, which I will pull up just one more time. And again, the ones that I am focusing more closely on are going to be these two naked daily points of control, again, at 39.6 and 38.775. And then more locally, you have these that $40,000 key level right near that point of control, that monthly point of control. So these are kind of the local levels I'm looking at. And then getting back down into the macro, obviously, of your macro POC. I don't know if we're going to get a move all the way back down there. But at that point, that's, once we start breaking these naked daily points of control, may want to reassess the situation to see if we should flip a little bit more bearish. But other than that, guys, this does look like, in my opinion, I'm going to be treating this as a volume profile as we are sitting at that value area low. So again, not just going super, super short here because we're dumping, right? We know we're at key support being that value area low. If you start losing this level decisively, then we can look down to these next levels that we just went over. And if things really start to get crazy, when in doubt, zoom out and find those macro levels with that POC at $34,404. So guys, I think that about wraps up this Bitcoin update. I just kind of wanted to touch base with you guys, talk about why we are not shocked about this move from the downside. We've been talking about it not only in the premium Discord. I talk about this on my live stream not last week, but the week before. Throughout the whole week, we've been looking for a potential push up to 46K and a strong rejection. And Mafia, here we are. When in doubt, trust your TA, guys. Like, we could have been wrong here, but, everybody, even last night, we had a couple people saying, like, I was dumb, or we had one guy coming in saying, like, this guy's always bearish with the red dots. First of all, not how red dots work. Second of all, look what happened, right? We expected to move to 46K, and we got the move down. And so when in doubt, don't listen to all the noise, guys. Just trust your TA. But I just wanted to break it down, let you guys kind of know why we dumped like that. And kind of how I'm handling things moving forward. And like I said, guys, on that heat map, taking all that liquidity, I'd be careful of a correction back to the upside. But eventually, if we do continue down, those are the key levels that I'm looking at. And with all that being said, guys, I think that's all the time I got for today's live stream or little fake out premiere, Crypto Cappuccino. Shout out to DJ Khaled. But guys, thank you for tuning in. Smash that like button if you learned anything or you found these helpful. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys want me to continue making this earlier content so you guys can stay informed on the price action and what I'm thinking on Bitcoin so you guys can catch these moves before they happen, just like we did. And maybe one day you can 2x a trading account like we did right here. So with all that being said, shout out to the CandleMafia. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you guys from the bottom of my heart. I'll see you guys at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our actual live stream. That's all I got. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, we winning by a landslide, never see me coming on my landmine, yeah, I ain't taking orders in command, like, yeah, you about to see me on demand, like, on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah. Maxed out,